Islanders win Game 2 in Boston. Oh my goodness. What an incredible hockey game. What an incredible hockey game. It was big boy hockey tonight. Both teams came out and played really, really physical, heavy. It was fun, probably for neutrals. It was a little bit less fun for the fans probably involved in the game. I know I missed Game 1. I said I probably would in the preview video. And so I'll give you a quick synopsis of that real quick because it matters for context in this game. So, the Islanders did not play well in Game 1. In fact, they were so incredibly fortunate to get out of 2 periods tied at 2, thanks to Adam Pelech. May his name be praised. But the Bruins completely deserved Game 1. Sorokin didn't really think, he was the cause at all. It was just like a group effort where they just struggled to contain the perfection line. Of course, they gave up too much room. I know on at least a few of Pasta's goals. Although there was one, I think it was the hat-trick goal for Pasta where it was a good play down the middle by Taylor Hall to kind of just disrupt the Islanders. I think like if you were a stickler, you would say, it's kind of interference. I can kind of understand why it's not in the playoffs, so it's whatever. But the Bruins played an excellent Game 1. Deserved it all the way. Tonight, through the first period, I was worried. I tweeted that, it felt like the series was over. It was 1-0 very early on a Charlie Coyle goal. And of course, anytime I mention a player in a somewhat negative light, doesn't even have to be putting him on blast, although that worked for Taylor Hall at the end of the regular season. Charlie Coyle, I think I said, not a fast skater. And he beats Nick Leddy. Although this is more of a physical play from Charlie Coyle, weak play from Nick Leddy, and not liking his game right now. Scott Mayfield actually kind of holding that pair together at the moment, which is something I didn't think I'd say. And anyway, so it's 1-0 real early on a play that looked like, they've got it covered. Oh, okay. And right away, because the Islanders made the goalie decision today to switch mid-series, there were fans immediately on Varley for that goal. And I understand the poke check was pretty bad, and I think there were a couple times early on in this game where Varley, with the stick check, was coming up real empty. And he did on this goal, but it's inexcusable to allow, Charlie Coyle to get in like that. And for Nick Leddy to get beat that badly, inexcusable for him. Good play by Charlie Coyle. So 1-0 after 1. Shots were lopsided, although as Arthur Staple kind of noted, it felt like the scorers missed a few shots for the Islanders, but it's whatever. Second period. The Islanders, very clearly not a second period team for most of this year, for all of this year, until tonight, where the Islanders play probably their best second period of the year. Kind of a reverse of that Capitals period earlier in the year where I think we gave up 5. It gets started very fortunately on a pass attempt from Josh Bailey on the power play. He's just looking hard, cross-ice pass. Gets a bounce off of a Bruins defenseman's skate. Tuukka, didn't see that coming. Didn't have a chance at it. And it's 1-1. And it should be noted that the penalty that led to that, I think this one's obviously the right call. I did see a few people say it wasn't. But I think for Pasta, he just lost track of where he was on the ice. So he goes to jump up, to try to avoid blocking the shot because the Bruins have the puck in the middle of the slot. And he just lost track of where he was, and he jumped into Varley. I don't think that was on purpose at all. But that has to be called. Varley's, taken out of the play completely, and it doesn't matter if it's on purpose or not. So, Islanders tie it there. And they get a lot of momentum off of this. The Islanders getting a lot of zone time, getting, all 4 lines. In the first period, one of the only good things was the Islanders' first line finally getting it going, and Barzal starting to look comfortable, and Eberle getting a bunch of shots off. And again, if the net were a little bit shorter, he'd have 80 goals. But they get a second goal through Kyle Palmieri, another not pretty goal, another, playoff hockey goal where the Isles just get it to the net front, and Kyle Palmieri stabs at it, pushes it back into Rask, and then it looks like either Rask accidentally tips it in himself, or the Bruin defenseman that came in to try to sweep it away. Either way, I think the last touch came off a Bruin. It's 2-1, and it's not pretty, but it's 2-1. And the Islanders would get a second power play of the period. Obviously, our power play wasn't very good this year. It looked like a completely different unit tonight. The second power play comes from a definitely more questionable call. Unless they missed it on the broadcast, on the NBC broadcast, and maybe I didn't see the angle where it was way worse. They called cross-checking on, I believe it was Carlo. And to me, it looked like a very common, post-whistle fracas, we'll call it. Did Carlo, I think, get a few in? But they didn't. I'm used to the cross-check only getting called if it's, high or on the back. If it's to the guy's face in the middle of the chest. And it wasn't even that hard. So I'm very surprised that got called. The referees continue to be kind of mystifying in the NHL playoffs. So the Isles actually get a pretty goal this time. Barzal gets it down low to Bo. Bo gets it cross crease to Pajot. Pajot just slams it home. So, the goalies, to this point in the game, the goalies really no shot at any of the goals. And it's 3-1 Islanders through 2. And as soon as the Islanders missed a few chances to make it 4-1, Barzal had a breakaway. Leo in front of the net kind of whiffed on a puck. If he had gotten anything on it, maybe it's another goal. And then the big one that I tweeted was Bo. A great play. I believe it was Brock underneath behind the goal line. Steals it, gets it out in front. Bo just misses. Had a lot of room. And I tweeted, I hope they don't regret that. They would come to regret that. So the third period starts, and the Islanders, for the first 5 minutes or so, they're playing fine. I'm starting to get a little bit comfortable. That's a mistake. And at a certain point, the Islanders just are full-on dump and chase, and that's it. And the Bruins are a tough team to run the clock on. We needed that NHL accelerated clock. And the Bruins get one through a slapper at the top of the circle from Patrice Bergeron. Noah Dobson screening his own goalie is not very helpful. So as soon as it's 3-2 and there's like 9 minutes left, you're like, all right, if you give one up, maybe make it quick so that you have time to recover and score. Because I don't want this to go to OT. Went to OT. And with just a few minutes left in the game, I think it was under 5 minutes, a really bad Josh Bailey penalty. He's the guy coming onto the ice for one of the Islanders, subbing off for him, and he immediately plays the puck. Still got 6 guys on the ice. It's a terrible play by Josh Bailey. It's a power play, and like clockwork, the Bruins score on the power play. This one, I'm not going to put on Mayfield because a lot of people were saying, oh, Mayfield's got to put pressure up top. Okay, but if he does that and he gets up on Marchand drops it down low, and there was a Bruin down low below the goal line, and who knows if the other Islander defenseman can get back and stop that. So kind of in a no-win situation, and it's not even off a face-off, so there's not really a lot that you can do differently there. They had won the face-off and cleared it on the first go-around, and it was the Boston second effort that got it. So we go to OT. And the Isles, I was pretty much accepting defeat after Boston scored the third goal because I was thinking this is going to be really hard to come back from, and Boston's got a lot of momentum. The Islanders just spent like 15 minutes not generating anything on offense. Obviously, that was kind of the game plan, but it's like, how do you just turn it back on? And they did. They start OT. I believe the shots were 16-3, something in the 16 or 18-3 range. A lot of chances back and forth. A lot of zone time for both teams, but it felt like the Islanders all of a sudden were back to life. And I, after the game, don't worry, I'm not skipping the goal. I said, to myself, in my own dojo, like, Barry must have, like, ripped into them. But after the game, Cizikas was talking with Pierre Maguire, and he was like, yeah, we didn't say anything. Veteran group, they knew what they had to do. And wow, I'm so impressed that they're able to come back from a game where Boston just kind of, it was like, oh, okay, this series not going to be fun. And come back and really put in a pretty solid effort tonight. Power play goes 2 for 3. Really impressive. They at one point they were getting massively outshot because of that third period push, and they end up evening it up with how good an overtime they had. And let's get to the goal. Very fortunate. So yeah, the Islanders on 3 of their goals probably got pretty fortunate tonight. What can you say other than you got to take the chances you get? They had a lot of chances on easier chances that they screwed up. So, what are you gonna do? You can't apologize for luck, because you still have to put it away at the end of it, and unless it's the Josh Bailey one, and it's straight into the net. Anyway, but the game winner, the Bruins are trying to go D to D on the Islanders blue line, and it clips off a Bruin skate, and it goes right to center, and Casey Cizikas in on a breakaway, roofs it, and the Islanders get what every road team looks for in the first half of a series. Just get one. And they do it. Obviously, like I said, they're going to have to continue to, get pucks to the net like they did. The goals look the same on the score sheet, so just got to keep getting pucks to the net. Maybe don't give up on scoring after you go up 3-1, because the Bruins are not going to lie down. This is a big boy series. Bruins are real good. Real good. Tuukka Rask played really well tonight, despite giving up 4. There was a little bit where I was like, some of those rebounds, but like that happens at some point in every game. And Tuukka Rask played an excellent game, and it just shows how unforgiving a position goalie is. So goalie was kind of a wash tonight. Actually, I will say, and this doesn't take away the wash part, but big save by Varley in the overtime where he stops the first shot from out wide, and Taylor Hall's crashing the net, and Varley's able to just keep it out. Big save there, and good on him to work past giving up a goal in the first shot, even though it wasn't his fault, and play a really good game. That is it from Belmont Bunch. We will see you Thursday, unless something comes up, but I don't know. We'll see you next time on Belmont Bunch.